Birds are singing. The leaves are rustling and branches are creaking in the wind. I hear a woodpecker. There's a slight breeze on my face and in my hair. Occasional sunlight shining on my head and arms, and I imagine I'm playing with the soil on the ground, and I feel it gathering behind my fingernails. The earthy soil beneath me, pungent rotting wood, crisp smelling pine cones, wild flowers, a musty smell of damp moss, indescribable smell of fresh air. The branches are covered in leaves and are waving slowly in time with the wind. The trees are swaying gently and creaking with each movement. The leaves on the branches are moving more quickly than the trees themselves, as if they're dancing in the breeze. They occasionally fall and flutter down to the ground. There are birds which dart from tree to tree as they sing to each other. I imagine spotting magpies, which remind me of their myths about silver and luck. When I was younger, I used to spread out the aluminium foil from my sandwiches to try and attract a magpie, hoping it would bring me good fortune. I imagine the birds walking purposefully between the trees. There is sunlight stretching through the gaps in the leaves and dappling over me. The movement of the trees constantly changes the pattern of the sunlight. The light is sporadic and moves across my body and the ground. I feel sudden warmth on my skin before it disappears and shines somewhere else. There is a mixture of soil, sticks, stones, and shoots of grass where I imagine I am sitting. The stones are poking into my bare feet, and my legs are slightly grazed from brushing against the sharp sticks and coarse ground. There are woodlice and ants crawling up and down the trees and over the soil. I imagine trying to pick up a woodlouse, and it retreating into a coil and staying very still, cautious of my hand. The ants bury themselves in the soil. There are spider webs stretched delicately across the leaves that are sprouting from the ground. The ground itself is uneven and littered, but I can walk and run freely over the rough terrain. I can skip over the branches, which are stretching out from trees, and jump onto the tree stumps. I can imagine myself sitting playfully cross-legged on the forest floor. I choose an almost cylindrical, smooth stick which feels nice to hold. I use it to draw circles and swirls in the ground. I stand and walk to a tree. It is too big to hold, too big to wrap my arms right around. I place my hands on each side, and the bark gently pushes my skin in different areas. Some parts are more gritty than others. And when I rub the tree, parts of the bark flake off and deposit dirt on me. It feels relieving to rub the tree as it scratches at the palms of my hand. I look at the tree as a whole, with its branches that are stretching out and protecting me from the wind. I notice patterns and faces within the gnarled bark, and it looks as if it's encasing something, like parts of the trunk are bubbling up and being held down and pushed back into the body of the tree. And I feel connected to the body of the tree in itself. It feels mothering to me, and I feel safe sitting next to it. It's soothing me and protecting me. It has existed for decades more than I have. It has seen more, and it knows more than me. I feel inferior, but belonging to where I imagine myself.